Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, January the 19th, 2021. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, Tennesseans have a new way to sign up for Covid-19 vaccinations. The Good Samaritan continues to help Tulahoma residents, and local fiddler Inga Wood has a new project. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tulahoma is ready to help you live well.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Many Tennesseans are wondering, do masks really fight the spread of COVID-19? A recent study shows they do. 2 hairstylists worked for several days with respiratory symptoms and serviced patrons in close contact. Both stylists later tested positive for COVID-19. 139 clients were exposed to coronavirus after being in direct contact. Both stylists and their customers opted to wear masks. No COVID-19 symptoms were identified among the 139 exposed clients or their secondary contacts. Out of the clients that were tested, all tested negative for COVID-19. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Welcome back. The Tennessee Department of Health and Tennessee's United Command Group have added new features to the Covid19.tn.gov website to make it easier for users to find county-specific information and request an appointment for COVID-19 vaccinations. The Covid19.tn.gov website provides a simple tool for Tennesseans to find their phase in Tennessee's COVID-19 vaccination plan. Updates to this tool make it easier for eligible users to request a vaccination appointment with their county health department. The website also offers an interactive map where Tennesseans can select their county to learn the risk-based and age-based phases currently eligible for COVID-19 vaccinations and how to request a vaccination appointment. New county-specific pages offer information including current local vaccine availability. The Covid19.tn.gov website also offers dashboards and other reports with state and county level information, including case counts, hospitalizations, and tests conducted. This site serves as a resource Tennesseans can use in making decisions about activities for their families, businesses, and communities as the COVID-19 pandemic evolves. COVID-19 vaccine supplies remain limited, and availability for vaccine varies by counties. Tennessee counties may progress through COVID-19 vaccination phases in different times depending on supplies of vaccines. Tennesseans can also learn their phase for receiving the Covid.tn.gov website information. As of Sunday morning, there have been 330,775 total vaccinations reported in Tennessee. Nearly 43,000 people have received the required 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. Here is a video produced by the Tennessee Department of Health showing how the website works.
Tennesseans have a 3-step process for getting a free COVID-19 vaccine. First, find your face. Visit covid19.tn.gov and hover over the Vaccines link in the upper left corner of the page. Click Vaccine Eligibility, and you'll be at the Vaccine Eligibility Start page. Click Next, and you'll answer a series of questions about your age, health status, occupation, and the county where you live. Your information is secure. No one but you will be able to see this information, and the information is not saved. You can sign up to be notified when you are eligible to receive a vaccine. And if you're eligible now, you're ready to move to the second step, learning what phase your county is vaccinating. At the top of the page, hover over Vaccines once again, and click the link for County Vaccine Information. On this page, you'll get a color-coded map of Tennessee and a drop-down of all the Tennessee counties. Click on your county in the map, or use the drop-down menu to select your county. If you clicked on the map, a popover will show the vaccine phase by risk and age for your county. If you use the drop-down, you will be taken to your county page with similar information. Now, you're ready for the third and final step, requesting an appointment with your county health department to get vaccinated. Either from the map view or the county page, click on the red button to request an appointment. You'll jump to the appointment scheduling page for your county health department. Scroll until you see the available slot box. Check the box that says Sign Up. Then click Submit and Sign Up. The next page will ask for your contact information and ask a series of questions about your age and risk category. Again, your information is secure. When you're finished entering the required information on the page, click Sign Up Now. Your county health department will notify you, based on the contact information you gave, about your appointment date, time, and location as soon as the COVID-19 vaccine becomes available. The COVID-19 vaccine supply is limited. Tennessee counties may progress through COVID-19 vaccination phases at different times, and not all counties will have sign-up slots available at all times. County health departments will announce additional opportunities to get vaccines, depending on supplies, and as counties move to new vaccination phases. If you have questions, call the COVID-19 Public Information Line at 877-857-2945 or 833-556-2476, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. For more information, visit covid19.tn.gov.
In case you forgot, covid19.tn.gov, we'll have that link on our Facebook page to help viewers get the information they need. We'll be right back in a moment with more News Leader.
Here at Mcnab Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tulahoma. We'd always done business with Mcnab, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in the event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNab Collision Center.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tulahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Cindy Kenny and Donna Baker from the Good Samaritan spoke with news leaders Peggy Burton last week about what Good Samaritan is and how they help low to no income Tullahoma residents.
Our ministry was chartered in 1985. We are a 501c3, and our charter is that we serve the people who live in Tullahoma only. Okay?
Only Tullahoma.
Mm-hmm. And those are people in need, the less fortunate, and people who, well, like with COVID now, we have a lot of people in a crisis situation. And our ministry provides food, financial assistance. We have some criteria and guidelines, but
and what are some of the criteria and
guidelines?
Well,
of course, you must be a Tullahoma resident.
Right.
Low income.
Low income.
Low or no income. We do have you bring a photo ID, social security card, proof of income in your bill, and then we do, to get financial assistance, you must, call us and make an appointment. Okay, so we need copies of those documents.
So it worries me that there may be people that don't know where your place is. So what's that address?
Well, it's 210 East Grundy Street.
East Grundy Street.
And for those who have been in Tulahoma a long time, we reside in the original Tulahoma Funeral Home.
Okay.
And we're right across the alley from the First Presbyterian Church.
And it's not far from once you cross the railroad track.
Right.
It's real close. And what are the hours?
The ministry is available 9 to noon, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
The thrift store, the thrift store is open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock.
Okay. And if you have a need for things like clothing, food, money, all these things, so that certain things they have to make an appointment. But if they want to come and look at clothes, are those all given away, or do they have to pay a small amount?
Thrift store. Well, the thrift store is available for people to shop. To purchase clothes. And they are greatly reduced. In fact, most of our clothing sells for $1 or less, and I'm talking, we have pretty strict criteria as far as what we hang out.
I think it's good that it has a small price on it, simply because people have pride and they don't want to feel like that everything's being given, that they're paying for what they get. I like that.
But there are some families that have had some distress where they can come to us, we'll give them a voucher, and they can, our standard is usually 3 outfits, per person. And that's like shirts, pants, socks, underwear, coats. We do now, because of the cold weather, have a lot of coats that we will give to people.
So if people need coats, now's the time, and there's the phone number, just like we expected.
Yeah. And we have some special programs, Project Dignity, which is our program where we can give people personal hygiene items and household cleaning products, and a lot of that is donated to us. We have Project Baby Boom, which is we can give those in need diapers, wipes,
formula, food.
Do you find that right now during the crisis with the pandemic and everything, do you find that you're having more people come in? Or is it about the same?
It's about the same. Now, during the initial outbreak, we had to have a lot of people stay home, and there was just 3 of us handling the ministry. But we felt that food was a priority. So we were there we kind of backed off on financial assistance, but we were there giving food 3 days a week, and we let people come back every 2 weeks to get more food.
Let's let everybody know the kind of food that they're allowed to bring. Is there a certain kind, like canned foods?
Yeah, we prefer usually non-perishable food.
Right.
And then during the summer, like we were chatting before, we have some gardens that are well stocked and overflowing, and don't we, Donna? We get a lot of fresh. Yeah.
I came from a farm, so I'm so glad to know that we still have people that will do that. And my father, he always had food for everybody in the country, it seemed. But that is a gracious gift, and we need to compliment our farmers.
We appreciate it because we feel like it kind of rounds out the food that we're giving them, and we have a good relationship with Kroger and Publix. We get baked goods. In Publix, we are the Good Samaritan is the preferred nonprofit with them. So we have a special relationship, and they do food drives a couple of times a year. Donna and I, you'll always see us at the back of the store.
Every weekend.
Every weekend we pick up bakery items. They give us meat. They give us milk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a blessing. We've tried to pass the word around.
Word of mouth.
And whenever someone homeless does come in, Donna always will share that information with them, and we give them a towel. We've got like a little to-go bag of food and one of hygiene products that they
That's
can
wonderful.
take with.
How many homeless would you say we have around this area? More than we would imagine?
Oh, yes.
So I just want to say how grateful I am to live in a community that has the Good Samaritan ministry, because it is very, very needed.
We'll be right back in a moment with more news.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNab Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNab Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tulahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. And I grow and get bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Welcome back. Jim and Inga Wood stopped by the station last week to talk to John Gray about their new project, which focuses on recording vintage American fiddle tunes from old music.
Greg Reich, he's the director of the Center for Popular Music at MTSU. He and John Fabke, who's the head of Spring-Fed Records, which is now under the umbrella of the Center for Popular Music at MTSU. They got a grant years ago to do some recording for a project called the American Vernacular Music Manuscript Project. And so there I have these collections. I focused on 14 that were fiddle tunes. These unpublished books, I guess they got them from estates. I never really found out where the... So American Vernacular means something that's grassroots and unique to the American experience.
Okay.
You know, they primarily are European antecedents to this music.
Right.
You know, because people come over from Scotland, Ireland, England, Germany, France. You know, and so these manuscripts dated from 1730 to 1910.
Wow.
And I never really got the scoop. I assume these were collected probably from estates of, you know, where the families had been passed down through families. I'm not sure really. I assume that's the case.
I bet a lot of them were passed down from families that didn't know what the word estate meant.
That probably...
The movie The Songcatcher comes to mind.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So there was a certain degree of musical literacy, though, for fiddle players earlier in our nation's history, and that kind of faded away, and now it's of course come back.
It's coming back.
Yeah, but it was not uncommon for fiddle players to be able to read and write music in the 18th century, and then that kind of got lost in the 19th century to a certain extent, but not entirely though, because some of these manuscripts, you look at them and you can see that they're clearly kind of classical music influences. Right. So, you know, for instance, these manuscripts would have been from the time of like Thomas Jefferson, who was both a fiddle player and a classical violinist. And so he would have touring famous musicians from Europe come to Monticello, and they would play string quartets, and his favorite composer was I've forgotten. Mozart, one of the famous classical composers. And he played square dances. He played fiddle tunes. As a matter of fact, I read one time that he and Patrick Henry were at odds politically, but they played square dances together. They were both fiddle players. I used to play shows with a group called the Four Nations Ensemble in New York City, and we had a program where they would play settings of fiddle tunes of folk music by Couperin and Beethoven, and then I would play fiddle music, and we juxtapose the kind of state of the art now versus how people were interpreting fiddle music 200 years ago.
Sure.
So the thing is, Beethoven moved from Germany to Austria, and he was just trying to make a buck. He's like doing transcriptions and arrangements. So we have the music where even mighty Beethoven is doing fiddle music, fiddle tunes and stuff. And so the two, like I said, the lines were not so clearly drawn.
Right.
And like I said, fiddle players earlier in the nation's history, there was this tradition of like tune collections, and so this wonderful project, they digitized all these manuscripts and these beautiful high-resolution scans, and so everybody has access to this by going to the Center for Popular Music.
Wow.
And the American Vernacular, it's the American Antiquarian Society teamed up with
Vernacular Antiquarian Society.
American Antiquarian Society and the Center for Popular Music did the American Vernacular Music Manuscript Program.
How did you decide what you're going to put on this project?
Well, it was like a doctoral thesis or something. I mean, I had 14 books. I read through 1,654 tunes.
Wow.
And some of these, it was like an archaeology dig, John. It's like,
I can imagine.
And I feel like I got to know the people who wrote these things. You see their handwriting, their manuscript style, and their calligraphy, and you just felt like it like broke down the walls of time, and you're able to like enter into like how they saw things and what they were experiencing by digging into these old books. And to be honest, probably 90% of the stuff was incredibly pedestrian. But if you have 1,654 tunes, if 10% of them are good, that's a lot of material. Yeah, that's a lot of material. It sounds like it is relevant to how it would have sounded 200 years ago, but it sounds relevant to right now.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with a song from Jim and Inga Wood right after these messages.
I'm Philip Bourne, McNab Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the McNab Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind McNab Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what the difference our detail can make.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, and now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Welcome back. We just heard from Jim and Inga Woods about their new project. Now let's listen to a selection from the new album.
So I want to play for you Soldier's Joy, the tune that is in this collection that I learned from my dad when I was a kid. And just no telling how far back it goes,
Okay.
So it's called Soldier's Joy.
Knock it out of the park.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include representatives from the National Alliance on Mental Illness in Coffee County, who will let us know how viewers can get free help in the area. And Tulahoma Community Development Director Winston Brooks will stop by to update us on some new things happening in the city. We'll have all that and more on this week's Living. We'll be right back in a moment with your weather forecast.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tulahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tulahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tulahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1933 at 70 degrees. The record low was in 1994 at -4 degrees. Average high on this day is 47, and the average low is 28. Mostly cloudy weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of 30. Sunny weather in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 46 and a low of 35, and some rain moving in on Thursday with a high expected of 51 and a low of 36. And that's our news leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.